Hello, welcome back. It's been so long since I made a video, so it's going to be my first one in 2022. Very exciting, but it's going to be a burner. So what I'm going to show you is how do I listing optimization. You do know that I'm offering free reviews. So if you feel like I'm not sure about my listing, or I maybe even paid for a service and it's just not selling, or your PPC is not working, then before you pump more money into PPC or increase your bids or whatever, or reduce the pricing, and there's all these little bits and pieces, right? Listing optimization is like the most important part. I mean, whenever you ask somebody, say, oh, have you optimized your listing? And yes, so I'm doing that for a lot of my clients, and I'm going to show you today how to do it. So I'm going to show you not just only how I'm looking at listings, but also how to find better keywords and how to add them to your existing listing, and then how to reboot the whole Amazon system to start generating some sales. Does it sound great? I think it sounds awesome. So stay tuned. It's going to be quite a long video. The good thing is you can always hit the pause button and the subscribe button. Don't forget about that. All right, let's get started. The tool I'm going to use later on will be Helium 10, the new listing builder. I like the new one a bit better. I think it just makes a bit more sense, so the way it's done. Again, if you don't want to spend any money on any tool, you don't have to. You can just simply have your keyword list that you generated. The way you can generate keywords without using any tool, I made a video for that, so just check it out there. And if you don't want to use a listing optimization tool, just make a list, write your text, and then go control find and see if you can find the keywords and you actually have used them and ticked them off, because that's pretty much the same as all these tools are doing. So you can save yourself a lot of money. But in saying that, it just makes it so much easier. And if you already have Helium 10, then that's another great tool you definitely should use. So the first thing we do is finding keywords. So the product that I have is a pet grooming towel. I actually have no idea if that is the right keyword. So I typed it in because I know that's how I would describe it. So one of my clients sent it to me, and I said, not sure. It's not selling. It's been on the market for way too long, and it's just not selling. So I'm checking all of these. Type this main keyword in because that's the main keyword that my client sent me. And then I'm going to click on Helium 10, have a look, and see what's happening. And first thing I'm noticing that it's not searchable for this particular keyword. So maybe I didn't write it right. No, who knows what it is. But you can also see that the average revenue is 16 grand and the total revenue is quite high. It's not super duper competitive, but I think it's quite in a mix. Biggest issue I see here is the pricing. Some more expensive ones, but that's something I don't even know what that is. I don't know, something drier, but something more for professional people, which drives the price up a bit, but the average is quite cheap. So careful with these things. Maybe a multi-pack is something you want to think about here. However, people make money, but not on this keyword. So we need to find out what's the best keyword. So what I'm trying to do here, what I normally don't do is filter by revenue, but in this particular case, I'm doing it. So we can get rid of this. That's not a towel, but this one would be a pet towel. It's embroidered, but it's not personalized, which is important because we don't want to compete with personalized towels because they often have these keywords in there. Okay, then we have that's a towel, and they're making quite decent money, don't they? I mean, 50 grand, 40 grand. That's wipes. We don't want to just use those. These are not too bad. So I'm trying to find products that are similar to the one that my client is selling and then make a really good revenue, and then reverse engineer their keywords. That's what I'm doing. So we don't use this one. Nope. What's this one? That's a little hammock thing. Now here's another towel. Do they make some else? Oh, so it's a big drop off, as you can see there. These people here make quite some decent amounts, and then there's a lot of rubbish in between, and then it just drops off on average 5 grand. I mean, making on average 5 grand on your first pro is not bad, but it drops off drastically. And that most of these people don't make much at all. So here we go. So we got 4. That's enough. At least they make money. If we're adding people to this group that don't make enough money, like more than 5 grand, then it's really hard to find similar keywords that we can target. So we're going for those ones. That's right. So Search volume, I like to have a minimum of 500. I'm not going to put a maximum in there right now. I like to go for, have them on page 1, so somewhere there, and I want them at least 2 words. And I want them to be all organic. We've done with any of the other ones, and we just go for this now. And then depending on the results that I'm seeing, I'm going to filter again. Maybe I'm going to reduce this position. If I don't get enough keywords, then I'm probably going to take this last one out, which was only the one that has the 5 grand. Cool. So I'll take a little bit. How many do we got? Oh, 52 keywords. That's actually a really good amount of keywords. I like that. So if it's too many, if we still have like 1,000 keywords, and it's just, who can look through 1,000 keywords? You can easily look through 52. So we want to remove the ones that are silly. I'm going to shut myself down here. Okay, so I'm like to start from the bottom. I changed this to 100. And I start from here. Girl dog. That's all right. That's something like that. It's a keyword we don't need. We don't need that. Puppy, yep. Amazon pet. Oh no. Jerry towel. I have no idea what that is. If we don't know what it is, go and have a look. What's a Jerry towel? I have no idea. But I would not say it's relevant. So you want to make sure all these keywords here are actually relevant and describing your product. The best keywords describe your product in the broadest but still most accurate way. That would be ideal. So I have no idea what that is. No, it's not a bone. Yep, I don't know what that is. There's a lot of things I've never heard. That's all right. Yes, it's for pets. It's probably mainly for dogs. I mean, who would bath a cat? But some people do. So yes, if people want to bath their cat, then they can certainly use my pet towel for that. Bone dry pet, no. No. Beach, yes. Aquapore, no. That's probably a brand, Aquapore. So we don't want to do that. No, Soggy Doggy, these are brands, so we can't add them to our listing anyway. We could leave them in here and then just mark them and put them later on in our PPC if we wanted to target these specific keywords. But for now, just for the listing optimization, we don't need to do them because any brands have nothing to do with our listing. Your listing will actually be suppressed. It gets suppressed if you put any brands in there. Dog beach, maybe towels. That's a bit of a funny one. Yeah. These look all pretty good. So we take them and we add them to my keyword list. Since we now have all our keywords, and I hope you didn't misunderstand me how I've done that. So we are going to create this listing. So here we go. We have a listing. No, I don't have any ISIN. If I did, then they want me to connect my, so I'm just doing it. I'm just going to start. Then I've got all my keyword lists here, and that's the one I want to use. I want to add this to the bank. And you can always add more keywords, which is awesome. And then I'm just going to click on next. So now it's telling me exactly. So what I like about the new tool is it tells me down here the best practices. And if I tick them all, keep in mind, Helium 10 does this for like all listings, right? You can't actually say somewhere specifically, oh, I got my listing is clothing or jewelry, because in those listings you can't actually put that many characters in the title. So even if you some jewelry, generally have 80 characters. So Helium 10 will also give you a voice evaluation score saying, you didn't make the 150 characters in your title. So just keep it in mind. It's more a quantity thing, not a quality thing. So it helps. But so what I really like to do is make sure I have the 5 bullet points. I do have not too many bullet points, characters. I do have all my photos and all the stuff, so that's important. But for the character itself, Amazon may have different rules than what Helium 10 suggests. So it does help. If you already have a listing, obviously you would copy everything in here. If you don't, that's when you start writing. So when I get listings, sometimes people give me their access to their account and I can actually check the backend. Otherwise, it will normally request you to send me a screenshot of your backend because I want to check certain things, right? So what I see very often is that a lot of clients of mine still use broad and all these stuff, which is generally the reason why either your product description will be suppressed or even the whole listing will be suppressed. You're not allowed to use any of these anymore. Even if you had somebody writing this for you, then that person should know that. If they don't know this, then they're not a good person. So that's the one thing. Then another thing I always notice, if you're selling in the US, then it should be the other way around, right? So you want to have inches first and the weight should be in pound and not in centimeters and not in grams, because Americans just have used different measurements. So use theirs and then put the grams and the centimeters in brackets. Done. That's what I notice. Then another thing I notice often in keywords that's so common you wouldn't believe that this is often not filled in by anybody. The search terms are completely empty. The subject matter is empty. You can ignore the platinum ones because they're generally for vendors, so you don't really need to do this. But everything else needs to be filled in. And another thing that I always notice is that these more details are often totally ignored. So most people will just put their item dimensions in because they have to, but that's it. It's funny, if you do not fill this in and somebody wants to hijack your listing and actually ruin your listing, they can use this or everything that's empty to put in nasty flagged keywords, like something like antibacterial or germs or even COVID or something like that. They just pop this in here somewhere, and then the bot will discover it in your listing and flag you, and your listing will be removed, and you don't even know why because you haven't put them in. So how they do it is they obviously just add your listing to their inventory, use a flat file, and fill all these details in. So I highly recommend to fill in as much as possible, and whatever you can't fill in because it's not applicable, type in not applicable. That's it. Very, very important. So you want to make sure at the end of the day everything is filled in. Perfect. So we're starting with our listing here, listing builder. So I just want to show you. I'm not going to go through the whole listing because it's just going to take way too long. Writing a copy still takes me quite some time. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to go through this individually, every bullet point, but I just copied the original title in here. And then you know what this tool is doing. So you can see that the person actually had the brand in there as well. I don't suggest to put your brand in unless it's already a well-known brand. You're literally taking 2, 3, minimum 1 word, so and so many characters of your title. The first 5, 6 words are the most important ones. These are going to form your canonical URL for Google. This is what people generally will see when they search on their phone. So they don't want to see that you are the super coolest brand in Australia, and then you're selling what, a pet grooming towel. Great, nobody cares. Because they can't even see pets. It ends with pets because your brand is so long. So don't do that. Just if you want your brand registered, Amazon will add your brand automatically. Until you have a little bit of brand friction, I would not put that in. So easy done. So that's the title, how it starts, and then you can see there's literally no keyword in it except dog essentials. From our keyword tracker, that's why it's so great. You can often go back and forth. Go back in listing below. You can see it's crossed out here because I've used it in here, and it's red, which means it has a really, really high search volume. If you want to know how much, and you can go on your keyword tracker, which you hopefully have done, and then you see here, that the search volume is like at 96,000. That's crazy. You can also see that your CPR is at 129. That means you would have to sell 129 units within 8 days to start ranking on page 1. On page 1, goes down to 45, right? So it's a lot of work. And it's not a really good keyword for you. Of course, a pet grooming towel is a dog accessory. A dog accessory, it's not very descriptive. Yes, eventually you want to start ranking for it, but don't focus on it. It's not a focus word. You can put that in your description. You can say this is a must-have, a dog accessory, right, for every pet owner or puppy owner, or one of the first, I don't know, something like that. But you don't need to put this in your title. It's not going to help you. Dog accessories, if you're not sure what it is, go and have a look on Amazon. What comes up? Everything. Bandanas, weird camera. Okay, great. I didn't even know it was a thing. Lots of colors, bowls, bars. It's just everything totally mixed. There's no concept. So people who type in dog accessories actually have no idea what they want to buy. So yes, a lot of people look for it, but it's more like, okay, maybe I get an idea of what's on, what's in. I cannot recommend going for this keyword. So you want to take this out. You want to go for keywords that are obviously very descriptive. So you need to put something like this in, a dog towel, because obviously it's a dog towel, right? Or a pet towel. But you see, pet towels actually not super popular. But here, these are all great keywords. Gifts for dogs, cat bathing, dog bath towel. That's a nice keyword. You don't have to sell too many. So these kind of things, you want to put a few of those into your title. I generally suggest 2, 3, 4, 5 keywords, somewhere from here, and then you say something like quick drying, comfy, super soft. So if we go from this title here, which doesn't really help Amazon to connect this keyword. So keywords are the ones you're putting in your title and your listing, and search terms is what customers looking for. And yes, sometimes they are the same, sometimes they're not. But let's say somebody's looking for a dog towel. Based on this title, the algorithm would just not make a connection between this listing and the customer search term, right? They can't, because it's not in the listing. So your challenge will be to think about, based on the keyword and the search terms on this list, this is what people are looking for, a search volume, how to pop these keywords in here so Amazon's algorithm can make a match. It's kind of like, it's like a little bit of a dating app. the more attributes you put in here in your listing, the more keywords you put in your listing, the more attractive you're going to be for your customer, because then they actually come and give you a shot, because Amazon matched you. Very cool, that's a match. And then the customer can see, okay, yes, I'm gonna click on it, and hopefully that's right. So that's kind of what we want, right? So your challenge is to find great keywords that are not too competitive, and you can distinguish them between, like, using the keyword tracker, just like it a bit better. And so you can see here, down here, it gets like really low search volume, but you can definitely put a few of those ones in here, like dog bath supplies. That's definitely more accurate than dog accessories, right? Or cat towels, puppy towels for small dogs. So that's really cute, because there's so many people. So these are the people who would actually buy a towel. If you already have an older dog, you're probably not going to buy a new towel all the time, right? But if you buy a puppy, you'd want to have something small and cute, and you're just in love, like with babies. So puppies go really well, and everything puppy related. And then you see, you actually only need to sell about one a day to start ranking on page 1 for this keyword. And if you start ranking for this whole keyword, then you also start ranking for puppy towels as well at the same time. And then maybe even for towels for small dogs. So that's kind of how it works. So you want to pick a few ones from here that are easier to rank for. And like I said, you don't just put them all in your title. You put these keywords in your title, and the first 3 bullet points, those are the most important parts of your listing where you need the keywords in. To show you a little example of what I'm doing, and obviously I didn't let you wait, but this took me about 25 minutes to just do the title. So when I do something, I'm trying to do it quite thorough. So just to show you the title before and after. So before, the title was microfiber channel pet towel, great for cats and dogs, ultra absorbent and quick drying, essential cat and dog accessories. So it kind of had a lot of things in there, but they're not really keyword or keyword phrases. A client or customer on Amazon doesn't search for essential cat and dog accessories, because why would they, right? That's a category. But you go on Amazon and either you search first for a dog and then for a cat. You don't generally search. Just put yourself in the customer's shoes. So if you wanted to buy a toy for your dog, you wouldn't type that in, would you? So that's kind of how you have to think. And the same, searching for great for cats and dogs. Yes, that's how you describe something, but that's not how you can describe it for your customer on Amazon. That's not what somebody searches for. So yes, people would search for pet towel, but as we saw, doesn't actually have too much search volume. So now the new title that I changed, I try to always incorporate, always like I said before, a few softeners, words that talk to the emotions of the customer, because everybody can just sell dog towel, but our dog towel is soft. It's microfiber, which is what a lot of people like because they know it's soft. It's a dog towel, which is the biggest search volume in here. It is also very absorbent, and it's dog chamois, which we love because I know the dog chamois is a really good one here. We saw that it has a good search volume, not too high, but it's in around 2,000 something. Then dog bath towel is not a bad one. And then I said this gift for dogs and cats because we have here gifts for dogs and we also have gifts for cats. So that's how smart the algorithm is actually. If you put them here without any little commas or any separators in it, Amazon will be able to see this as gift for dogs or gift for cats. Makes pet grooming, which is another keyword, fun and stress-free, because I have a new puppy. I just got one. And I try to bath him, and he is not the biggest fan of water. So having something cozy and cuddly afterwards just makes it all a bit easier and just gives him the good feeling, okay, I'm going through this, but afterwards I'm going to get wrapped in this really soft, cuddly towel, and my mom's holding me, so everything is awesome. So giving this feeling to new puppy owners or groomers or pet owners who maybe even have a little bit of a fear for the dog not liking water or liking the drying or the grooming part is helping them. So we're talking to the emotion of the client, of the customer, and give them not just a reason why they should buy it, because it's obviously a really quick drying dog bath and you have to have it, but it also helps you when you do the actual grooming. It makes it all an easier, smoother process. I hope you get kind of the thing what I'm trying to say. Just combine the keywords with emotion is kind of the essence of it. Then you see already here you intent down here. Tell me, okay, cool. I have my listing score because I put I don't have any silly emojis in there. My characters are fine, and I already have this search volume generated, which is quite good. So quite happy already. And now I keep going. My first bullet point, I always type in my USP. What's my USP? What makes my towel different from everyone else's? That's one thing. The second one then is I describe it a bit more. So who is it for? Who or what? And then where and when. Yeah, so sometimes you maybe want to say, okay, this is what it's for, and then this is where you can put it, like for kitchen utensils, the same thing. And then here you can just, in bullet point 3, 4, 5, you can just describe a little bit more the functionality, or maybe the components, the materials, why it's great. If you actually do something for a non-for-profit charity, then I would say, cool, add it in your last bullet point. Honestly, if a customer is going on your website or on your Amazon listing, they already have to like your product. And then it's kind of like, shall I go for this towel or that towel? And if you put something in there, yes, like, I don't know, 5% of our profits go to this and this pet charity, then that would be awesome. And this probably gives them like the last little bit, but that's not what gets customers onto your page. Customers go onto your page because of the keywords you put in the first 1,000 characters, because that's the only way Amazon can make the match. Otherwise, Amazon will not even show you. So it doesn't matter how much money you give away to charity. It doesn't matter how cute your images are. That's all great. But you need to first make sure that Amazon is able to make the match. Once you have the match, then you need to convince with your images, and then you need to convince with the first 3 bullet points, because most people don't even read more. So make it all very clear. Focus on keywords. As I said, if you have any trouble with any of these things, make sure that you write me a message, ask me to review your listing, or even write your listing from scratch. No worries about that. I hope this was helpful. Once you have it all done, just copy and paste it into Amazon, save, close your listing if you don't have any inventory. If you have inventory, obviously leave it on. Any changes, especially the ones you make to the title, can take a little longer. Some may not be able to actually change it, then you have to use a flat file, which I also have a video for. And some of them may take up to 24 hours to change. So just be a little bit patient. I wish you all the best about this. Let me know how you found this video. Thank you.